Hi, I'm Connie Holen, and I'm back for video 2 of this 4-part series on how to create a studio website on a budget. So in the last video, I talked you through the 4 things that you needed to prep to ensure that you had a successful website project. In this video, we're going to talk about actually how to design that website and where to build it. So that's the first question that comes up, right? Where do I even build this website? From WordPress to Wix, LiveEdit, GoDaddy, Squarespace, there's a ton of different options these days for platforms that are appropriate to build a small business website. But having built almost 100 studio websites, I'm going to recommend the Squarespace platform for you. And that's because I think it is the best option out there for easy to use, easy to manage, and has powerful capabilities. Specifically, there's 5 reasons why I really like Squarespace for studio websites. The first is it's got a drag and drop interface. So it's pretty intuitive if you get in there and you just start playing around with moving things around, adding different content blocks, and getting the page to look the way you have it in your mind. Number 2 is the templates are built from the ground up, mobile responsive, and they have a pretty good modern design look to start with. So it's giving you a good starting point, especially if you're designing your own website. Number 3, are there no maintenance or security concerns? So this is predominantly when you're comparing Squarespace against WordPress, which is another really popular, powerful platform. WordPress, you are responsible as the business owner for making sure that your website stays safe and secure, that no one hacks into it, and that all the plugins are compatible and updated monthly, and there's no conflict between them that's going to take your whole site down. That can be a real headache for small businesses. With Squarespace, you don't have that to worry about. Squarespace is a hosted platform. There's offices that are headquartered in New York City and other places as well, that they make sure that that security gate and that the basic operation of the website remains up and operational. So that's not your problem as the small business owner. There's someone else who's doing that on your behalf. That's a big plus. Number 4 is the design options. So this is compared specifically if you're looking at a platform like LiveEdit, where you have to fit your content into the layout, the template that they give you. There's not a whole lot of fluidity in the designs. That can be really frustrating when you're trying to communicate your brand effectively online on your website. So with Squarespace, the whole canvas is pretty much a blank canvas. You can add a variety of content types. You can move them around, resize them. You have a lot of flexibility. You can also add custom CSS. You can add a lot of things to really up the look of your website within the platform. And number 5, and this is a huge one for small businesses, Squarespace works well with third-party integrations. So this is really important because most of you are probably running your businesses off of a studio scheduling software. To be able to bring that core booking and buying functionality that you rely on onto your website is critical. When you've got some platforms like Wix and GoDaddy specifically, that becomes a really big challenge. Getting your widgets, which is just kind of a nickname term for taking the functionality of one platform and putting it on your website. That does not work really well on some of those other platforms. It works great on Squarespace. You've got code blocks accessible to you where all you need to do is cut and paste from your studio scheduler and put it on the web page on your website. So for those 5 reasons, I recommend that you get started and you build your own website on Squarespace. You can do that at squarespace.com. There should be a little button in the top right-hand corner that says Get Started, and that'll get you started with a free 2-week trial. So you can get in, play around, decide what you think before you even have to put in a credit card and do anything. If you find yourself struggling with Squarespace, the design, it's just not looking the way you want it to, you can't quite figure out what to do on there, I highly recommend fellow designer Kirsten Martin's e-courses. She's got one called Squarespace Express that's really great, that'll walk you through the whole design process, and you'll probably get to the end really loving what you've created. So I highly recommend you take one of her courses if you're stuck in Squarespace and you just are overwhelmed with the design possibilities there. It's a great one. She's a great teacher and she teaches specifically Squarespace design. If you haven't yet grabbed my bundle of free resources that will help you through this whole process, you can do that at pixalitydesign.com/free. I'll see you next week where we're going to talk about the 4 common design mistakes that I see on studio websites and how to avoid them. So until then, have a great week.